Do you remember being in class when they were talking about slavery?
I don't remember nothing about
I
slavery in class.
remember, I remember, I remember sitting there thinking with white people in the class. I'm looking around like, like, man, this really happened this is what they did, and you just kind of sit there and think, that's how the world used to be.
I went to school in South Carolina. I ain't learned nothing in elementary school, middle school, or high school. I ain't started learning until I got to college.
But that's part of what I'm saying. Like, you'll be in school and you're not really learning about life, number one, about history. They're giving you a fairy tale about history, basically. It's a lot of things. Like I say, they don't. I don't. Well, we haven't been to school in a minute, but they're not talking about no buck breaking in school.
Who you can't talk about that stuff in school.
Well, you could talk about LGBT and changing genders and all that stuff.
You said I'm about to rape. I'm about to have male on male raping.
Well, that's history. That's what happened, ain't it? You talk about killing somebody or cutting somebody's head off, and King Henry and all this other stuff. They talk about that.
But the buttholes were different, man. The buttholes were different. Mama, what's anal sex? The teacher started talking about anal. They was having forced anal sex.
Well, they doing that kind of stuff in school now. I know some things here and there, but
break the strongest. You set an example.
I get you, but there's some other things that were going on. Like they had sex farms, and like they make you. Some people had to have sex with family members just because they had to breed us. Because the more slaves you have,
that was more in America than the Caribbean, based on my research.
But just in general. But that's a part of slavery,
Yeah, that was. They done that. Well, especially once they started to ban the slave trade. So you had some slave owners say, "I'm gonna get smart. I'm gonna breed these things."
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because that's money. That's money.
Yeah.
It just kind of makes you think, like, what kind of person would do something like that? Like, our nature, we're just not that kind of people. I don't think. I think we kind of tend to be that way now. And it's a side effect of slavery, of being in bondage like that, and not being able to grow like we naturally were supposed to grow as people.
Now I can say this: people could do very evil things, no matter who you are. But doing slavery started a new concept called capitalism. So capitalism did a lot of things to people because they ain't never seen capitalism before. They never seen I could use another person's labor to enrich myself. That ain't never been done before.
Right.
So once people start saying, damn, I could get this money, I could get a whole bunch of things I want, they'll do multiple things to get that money.
And I agree. But that was only part of slavery. Like they did a bunch of cruel things just because they wanted to. You know what I mean? They would feed babies to alligators, or just the way they hung people and made it a public, thing, and took pictures and stuff like that. Like what has to be going through your mind to be doing something like that? And
now watch this. I was reading the book of Joshua. In the Bible, Old Testament, Joshua pulled them keys out the cave and said, lay them on the ground. Now put your feet on their necks. Now, when God is behind us, this was going to happen to our enemies. Then Joshua took all the kings except for one of them, chopped the heads off. And he said, this one right here, hang this motherfucker up in the tree and let's look at it overnight. Now, this was in the Bible.
I didn't know that.
Let's look at it in the night. And some of the people, he said, hey, those guys right there, I learned this new word. Let's hamstring them. So let's go kill them. Let's just hamstring them and cut his thumbs off. So hamstringing, your hamstring, the back of your leg.
You're right.
They'll cut that. Just cut it. Now your leg won't work out, so you can't walk. Right, so you go walk with a limp. And he said, cut his thumbs off. Both of his thumbs off. And let that nigga work. He didn't say nigga though. Let that nigga work his house and serve me.
Dang.
ain't good. God. Now, if
And
you
that-
got no thumbs, you know you can't fight. You don't got no thumbs. And
you can't grab anything really. You're right, right.
They
Well,
did stuff like that, and that's in the book of Joshua. I was reading the book of Joshua. That's in the book of Joshua. So violence ain't nothing.
yeah.
Violence ain't nothing. But see, they was doing that for religion reasons. Here in America, they was doing this for financial reasons.
Yeah.
And personal reasons too. You know, they don't want to like talk like this, but you have a lot of slave owners that had a taste for males too.
Yeah.
And this some slaves provide them opportunity to satisfy their needs while getting shamed.
Right.
So they don't talk about that either.
Right.